All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tear up the old branding playbook. We're on a mission to find the new first principle that actually works in this crazy, noisy world. And to do that, we're diving into the brilliant ideas of author Chen Galei to figure out what really, truly matters today.
So, let's start with the big question, the one that's keeping every marketer up at night. Why are these massive, billion-dollar brands spending fortunes and still feel like they're just shouting into the wind? Why are all the old tricks failing so badly? Well, the short answer is, the world they were designed for doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, just look at the difference. The entire media universe has been flipped on its head. It used to be a one-way street. Brands had the megaphone, they broadcast a single, carefully controlled message, and everyone else listened. But now it's a decentralized free-for-all. Everyone has a platform, everyone has a voice. The brand isn't in control of the conversation anymore. Heck, they're lucky to even get a word in.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to explore why the old way is dead. Then, we'll deconstruct the 5 big pillars of classic marketing that are now crumbling. After that, we'll rebuild everything from one solid foundation, goodwill. And finally, we'll lay out the new playbook for how to actually win.
So let's start with that shift, because it's absolutely massive. And this isn't just about some new apps or social media trends. No, we're talking about a fundamental, tectonic shift in how culture gets made and shared. The very ground that all those classic brand strategies were built on has completely vanished. So, now for the fun part. Let's take a look at 5 theories that were basically the gospel of marketing for generations. I mean, these were the strategies that built empires. But, as we're about to see, the pillars holding up those empires are cracking. First up, the classic, brand image. This was pioneered by the legend himself, David Ogilvy. And it was perfect for its time. With just a few TV channels and magazines, you could project this single, consistent, perfect persona for your product. You weren't just buying soap, right? You were buying the feeling of elegance.
But here's the verdict for today. That one single mass audience? It's a myth. It's gone. We now live in a world of a million different communities and subcultures. So trying to maintain one rigid, fixed image across all of them isn't just expensive, it's a fragile burden waiting to break.
Next, brand positioning. The whole idea here was to wage a war for a tiny piece of real estate inside your brain. Through sheer force of repetition and a ton of ad money, a brand could own a single word. Volvo was safety. Gatorade was thirst quenching. It was all about mental domination.
And the verdict on that? Well, you can't conquer a mass mind that doesn't exist anymore. There's no single battlefield to drop your advertising bombs on. Now, being strategically different from your competitors is still absolutely vital, but the idea that you can just buy a position in everyone's head with an ad slogan, that's a relic. More often than not, it just ends up being an internal company motto. Lifestyle branding. Man, this was the absolute king for decades. The goal was simple: sell an identity. You weren't buying the sneakers. You were buying the rebellious, athletic lifestyle they stood for. It was all about connecting your product to this idealized version of who your customer dreams of being. So, what's the problem? Social media. It is the ultimate magic killer. It gives us a transparent, unfiltered, behind-the-scenes look at everything. And when that perfect, aspirational lifestyle in the ad doesn't match the reality that people are sharing online, poof, the magic is gone. And the backlash can be absolutely brutal.
Then you've got 360-degree integrated marketing. I mean, it sounds perfect, doesn't it? You surround the customer with a seamless, perfectly consistent, and totally controlled message everywhere they go. TV, online, in the store, a perfect brand bubble.
But that's all it is, a fantasy of control. In the real world, customer touchpoints are infinite and completely out of your hands. A random TikTok review, a chat in a private community, you can't control that. Trying is a fool's errand. So the new goal isn't to control the conversation, it's to earn the right to participate in it and maybe, just maybe, gently guide it.
And finally, we have the super symbol. This one's a clever shortcut. The idea is to find a powerful symbol that's already floating around in the culture, an archetype, an icon, and basically hijack it for your brand. You tap into something people already understand on a deep level to become instantly recognizable.
But there's a huge bug in this system. What exactly is super anymore? In a world that's fractured into thousands of subcultures, a universal symbol is a total myth. What's iconic and powerful to one group could be completely meaningless or even offensive to another. Relying on one big symbol is a massive risk. A more flexible symbol system is what's really needed.
Okay, so we've just knocked down all the old pillars. They were all built for a media world that is long gone. So what's left? After all that deconstruction, what's the one thing that can't be deleted? What's the unshakable foundation you can actually build on today? The answer is goodwill. Now, let's be super clear about what we mean by goodwill. This is not some fuzzy, nice-to-have feeling. Think of it as a tangible asset, like credit in your bank account. It is the total sum of trust and reputation that you have earned with your customers, not because of what you've said, but because of what you have done. This is the first principle.
So this gives us a brand new formula for what a brand even is. A modern brand is simply the process of taking that goodwill you've earned and turning it into communicable intellectual property, or IP. You're literally transforming your reputation into stories, symbols, and experiences that are designed to travel.
And that brings us to the new playbook. So if goodwill is the foundation and making IP is the structure, how do you actually build it? How do you put this new first principle into practice?
Well, it takes 3 pretty profound shifts in how you operate. First, you have to go from using persuasive words to taking provable actions. Your actions are your marketing. Second, you stop renting attention by buying ads and you start becoming the media by creating value people actually seek out. And third, you stop trying to protect a fragile, perfect image and instead you defend a single core promise with everything you've got. And honestly, Tesla is a masterclass in this. They don't really have a traditional marketing department because their whole company is a marketing machine. Elon Musk himself is powerful personal IP. He's a media channel all on his own. The Cyberchuck, that's product IP. It's so bizarre and unique it becomes a cultural symbol. And every SpaceX launch is action IP, a genuine news event. This creates a powerful matrix of goodwill-generating assets. And it's not just for tech billionaires. A chef's personality is their personal IP. Their signature dish is product IP. And a cool pop-up dinner is their action IP.
So you see, the new brand building cycle is this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. It all starts with the foundation, creating real value with an amazing product or service. That's non-negotiable. Then you build the bridge, turning the goodwill you've earned into memorable IP. And finally, you build your defense by obsessively maintaining that value and protecting your promise. That creates more goodwill, which creates more IP. It's a flywheel, not a funnel.
And that leaves us with one last, critical question to ask yourself. In this totally transparent, user-driven world we live in, what is your brand really built on? Is it built on the story you pay to tell people? Or is it built on the reputation you earn every single day through your actions?